We were doing Bernoulli's theorem in the last class. In this class, we'll do the application of Bernoulli's theorem. So there are certain instruments, okay. For example, open tube Venturi meter, and then we have closed tube Venturi meter, and the third one is yeah. So these two which we have to study, open tube Venturi meter and closed tube Venturi meter. So Venturi meter is a device where you are able to measure the speed of the liquid. So venturimeter is used to measure the flow of velocity of uncompressed fluid. So first device which we are studying is open tube venturimeter. So it is used to measure flow velocity of uncompressed fluid. Measure flow velocity of uncompressed fluid. So according to figure on point 1 and 2, P1 and P2 are pressures of fluid of rho and density V1 and V2 respectively. So here the pressure, see, at point A1 and point A2, the pressure here is, it is measured according to this. So here the pressure is P1 and the pressure here is P2, right? P1 and P2 are pressure of fluid of density, and the density of the fluid is rho, and the velocity is at this point is V1, and the velocity at this point is V2. Okay. On the same horizontal level, while A1 and A2 are the respective area on point 1. So at this point, the area of cross section is A1, right? And at this point, the area of cross section is A2. Now we'll apply equation of continuity first. So when you apply equation of continuity, we know that A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2 is the equation of continuity. So this will give you the velocity V2 in terms of area of cross section A1, A2 and the velocity at V1. So V2 is equal to A1 by A2 into V1. Now from Bernoulli's equation, we know that because they are in the same horizontal level, so because they are in the same horizontal level, there is no potential energy component here. So you will only find pressure energy and kinetic energy. So P1 plus half rho V1 square is equal to P2 plus half rho V2 square. Even if you write that rho GH on both the sides, the potential energy component that gets cancelled. So that's why we only write pressure energy and kinetic energy, and by conservation of energy. So Bernoulli's equation is nothing but conservation of energy equation. So where we are conserving the equation. So conserving the energy. So P1 plus half rho V1 square is equal to P2 plus half rho V2 square. Now V2 is replaced by this equation from equation of continuity, the equation 1. So we will get P1 plus half rho V1 square is equal to P2 plus half rho V2. Instead of V2, we'll write A1 by A2 V1. Now, so P2, when we bring it this side, we get P1 minus P2 is equal to half rho V1 square, A1 by square by A2 square minus of 1. But P1 minus P2, we also know, see, because the pressure here and the pressure here at this point is P1 and P2, right? So now the difference in the pressure at these 2 points will be equal to the difference in the height rho GH. So P1 minus P2 is rho GH, right? So we replace this rho GH here. So we get rho GH is half rho V1 square A1 by A2 whole square minus 1. So V1 will be equal to, you can cancel rho on both the sides. 2 can be taken on this side. You will get 2GH, right? And divided by A1 square by A2 square minus of 1. This is V1 square. Okay. Now V1 will be root 2GH, A1 square by A2 square minus 1 raised to the power minus 1 by 2. Right. So after solving it further, so you can write this as 2GH A1 square minus A2 square by A2 square. So this will give us 2GH into A2 square divided by A1 square minus A2 square. So this is V1 square. So V1 will be root 2GH V1 will be equal to root 2gh. A2 square का square root is A2 divided by root under A1 square minus A2 square. So that's what is written here. So V1 is this. Now Q is the volume of water flowing per second. So rate of flow of liquid is given by Q. So Q will be what? A1 V1, volume of liquid flowing per second, or A2 V2. So we have calculated V1. So A1 V1 means इसको इस V1 को we'll multiply with A1. So we'll get A1 A2 root under 2GH by A1 square minus A2. So thus at point where the cross section area is smaller, velocity is greater and the pressure is lower and vice versa. So wherever the cross section area is smaller, velocity is greater. Okay. So because V1 is proportional to A2, right? So V1 is equal to A2 by this. So if you calculate, V1 upon V2, you will get A2 upon A1, right? So A2 upon A1. So this is inversely proportional to area of cross section velocity. So where the area of cross section is less, velocity is more, and where the area of cross section is more, velocity is less. Is it clear? Let's go to the next part now. The second one is closed tube venturimeter. So that was open tube venturimeter. This is closed tube venturimeter. So it is a device used to measure the rate of streamline flow of a fluid through a tube. A venturimeter works on Bernoulli's principle. It consists of a U tube filled with mercury fitted to a straight tube with varying cross section through which the rate of flow of fluid is to be measured. The area of cross section in the broader section of the straight tube is A1. Let's say area of cross section here is A1 and that of the narrower section is A2. So here the area of cross section is A2, right? The speed of flow of the fluid in the narrower section is V2, right? And that at the broader section is V1, speed of flow, right? Using the principle of continuity, we know that V1 A1 is equal to V2 A2. This is the first equation. The fluid is incompressible, therefore the flow of liquid will be A1 V1 rho. So basically, if you multiply both side by rho, we'll get the flow of liquid, the quantity mass of fluid which is flowing per second. Now suppose that the pressure is in the broader side is P1 and in the narrower side is P2. So here the pressure is P1 and let's say here the pressure is P2, where rho naught is the density of mercury in the U tube. So density of mercury is rho naught. So we know that the pressure difference P1 is greater than P2. P1 minus P2 is given by rho naught GH, right? So we can write P1 minus P2 is equal to rho naught GH. Okay. Now applying Bernoulli's principle, again we get P1 plus. So at this point and at this point, if we apply Bernoulli's principle, we get P1 plus half rho V1 square plus 0, because both these points are in the same horizontal line. So there will be no, so the potential energy will be 0, right? If we consider this as a reference line, you know? So height according to this line will be 0 in both the cases. So we are writing 0 here as potential energy. So P1 plus half rho V1 square is equal to P2 plus half rho V2 square. We take P2 on the other side of the equation, we get P1 minus P2 is equal to half rho, and V1 square is brought on the other side. So it becomes half rho V2 square minus V1 square. P1 minus P2, as I said, the pressure here and the pressure here. So here the pressure is P1 and here the pressure is P2. The difference in pressure will be equal to density of the liquid which is being used. So mercury is being used. So density of mercury into acceleration due to gravity into the height difference. So P1 minus P2 is replaced by rho naught GH is equal to half rho V2 square minus V1 square. So if we solve this, we get 2 rho naught GH. We'll take 2 on the other side. 2 rho naught GH divided by rho, okay, a1 square minus a2 square. So we are using this basically. We are using this relation here. Okay. So first and fourth equation we are utilizing. So we can say here that V2 is equal to A1 by A2 into V1. So if we write it here, we will get half rho V2 square means A1 square by A2 square V1 square minus V1 square. Now if we take common half rho V1 square and LCM A1 square minus A2 square by A2 square. So this is equal to rho naught GH. So we have to calculate V1. So what we'll do write is 2 rho naught GH into A2 square divided by rho into A1 square minus A2 square is equal to V1 square. So we will get V1 is equal to 2 rho naught GH A2 यहाँ पे square root divided by square root of rho into A1 square minus A2 square. So which is written here. Is it clear? Therefore, the rate of flow of fluid is given by Q is equal to V1 A1 into rho. Okay. So इसी में हमें पता है कि the rate of the quantity of fluid flowing per second, right? So quantity of fluid flowing per second is V1 A1 rho. So we know V1, then we'll multiply it by A1 rho. So we'll get the value of quantity of liquid which is flowing per second. Is it clear? Now, the ratio of the fluid radius, the ratio of the radius of the tube of a venturimeter is eta. The ratio of densities of the liquid of the manometer and the moving fluid is N1. If the difference in heights of the liquid column in the manometer is h, find the minimum speed of flow of fluid. So, see, the speed, so basically this is something like this. The ratio of radius of the tube of a venturi meter is eta. Okay. So let's say radius here is R1, here radius is R2. So this is given R1 by R2 is equal to eta, right? We know that A1 is equal to pi R1 square, A2 is pi R2 square, A1 by A2 is equal to R1 by R2 का square. So that is eta square, right? This is your first equation. Okay. And we have difference of heights of the liquid column in the manometer is h. So here and here, P1 pressure P2, P1 minus P2, Okay, P1 minus P2 is equal to रो नॉट जी एच. मान लो यहाँ पे जो डेंसिटी है वो रो नॉट है, इसमें जो लिक्विड है उसका डेंसिटी रो है. सो डेंसिटी ऑफ द लिक्विड इन द मैनोमीटर एंड द फ्लूइड, सो रो नॉट बाय रो इज इक्वल टू ईटा वन. दिस इज गिवन. ठीक है. So this is your second equation. Now we know that find the minimum speed of flow of fluid. So हमें V1 निकालना है, right? So we are using that same अभी जो हम लोग किए थे, है ना, कि भाई पहले तो इक्वेशन ऑफ कंटिन्यूटी लगाएंगे. So फ्रॉम, या तो तुम्हें फॉर्मूला याद होना चाहिए, आइदर यू शुड रिमेंबर द फॉर्मूला और यू शुड यूज, मतलब you should find it out at there at that point. A1 V1 is A2 V2, so V2 will be equal to A1 by A2 into V1. And by Bernoulli's theorem, so if we use Bernoulli's theorem, we get P1 plus half rho V1 square is P2 plus half rho V2 square. So you will get P1 minus P2 is equal to half rho V2 square minus V1 square. P1 minus P2 is rho naught GH is half rho V2 square. V2 is A1 by A2 V1 square minus V1 square. So we have rho naught GH by rho, 2 rho naught GH by rho is A1 square by A2 square, sorry. So A1 square minus A2 square divided by A2 square into V1 square. So rho naught by rho is eta 1. So we replace this 2 eta 1 GH, and इसको करने की जगह A1 square by A2 square we have already known. A1 by A2 is given as eta square. So A1 square by A2 square will be equal to eta raised to the power 4 minus 1 into V1 square. So V1 square will be 2 eta 1 GH by eta raised to the power 4 minus 1. So this will give you V1 is equal to 2 eta 1 GH eta raised to the power 4 minus 1. This is the answer. I hope it is clear. Now next question is similar. This is your homework. Okay. So you can do this question as homework. Okay. I'll give you the answer so that you can match it when you have solved it. तो डिफरेंस इन मर्करी लेवल मतलब आपको ये H निकालना है. यू हैव टू फाइंड दिस H. सो आंसर here H is equal to 1.97 centimeter. So this is the answer. So you will solve it and you can then match it whether the answer is correct or not. Now other applications of Bernoulli's theorem. So Magnus effect, spinning ball. So tennis and cricket players usually experience that when a ball is thrown spinning, it moves along a curved path. है ना? Ball spin करता है. So this is called swing of the ball. So this is due to the air which is being dragged around by a spinning ball. So when the ball spins, the layer of the air around it also moves with the ball. So as shown in the figure, the resultant velocity of air increases on the upper side and reduces on the lower side. So when you will find, so see when the air is flowing in this direction and the spin is in this direction, so what happens, this is along the direction of air. So because of this spin and friction between air and the surface, so this will assist the speed of the wind. So speed of the airflow increases here, right? And in the lower region, because the spin is in this direction and airflow is in this direction, they are in opposite to each other. So speed of airflow decreases here. Now by Bernoulli's theorem we know that if speed is high, pressure will be reduced. है ना, हम लोग को पता है कि P1 plus half rho V1 square is equal to constant. So if V1 is more, P1 will be less. So pressure here is less and pressure at the bottom is more. So here, according to Bernoulli's theorem, the pressure on the upper side becomes lower than that on the lower side. Okay. So pressure on the upper side is less than the pressure at the lower side. So this pressure difference exerts an upward force on the ball due to which it moves along a curved path. Okay. So this effect is known as Magnus effect. Right. Now another application is motion of the ping pong ball. So when a ping pong ball is placed on a vertical stream of water fountain, it rises up to a certain height above the nozzle of the fountain and spins about its axis. Okay. So the reason for this is that the streams of the water rises up from the fountain with very large velocity so that air pressure in them decreases. Therefore, whenever the ball goes out from the stream, the outer air which is at the atmospheric pressure pushes it back into the stream. Thus, the ball remains in stable equilibrium on the fountain. If we blow air at one end of the narrow tube, the air emerges from the other end at the high speed and so the pressure falls there. So if a ping pong ball is left free slightly below this end, it does not fall down due to large pressure below the ball. Similarly, if we blow air in between the two ping pong balls suspended by light thread near each other, the ball comes closer to each other due to decrease of air pressure. तो हमारे पास दो पिंग पोंग बॉल अगर है और इसके बीच में अगर एयर को ब्लो करेंगे, so if we blow air, the velocity of the air is higher and hence pressure is lesser. So because pressure is lesser, so ball will move closer to each other. Okay. So ball comes close to each other. Same is the reason that when air is blown between the pan of a physical balance, the pan is depressed down. So let's say we have a physical balance. Now when you blow air here, the pressure will be less and pressure will be less, so this pan will come down. That's what they are saying. Now aerofoil, this is the device which is shaped in such a way that the relative motion between it and fluid produces a force perpendicular to the flow. So as shown in the figure, The shape of the aerofoil section causes the fluid to flow faster over the top surface than over the bottom. So therefore, according to Bernoulli's theorem, the pressure above is reduced and that underneath is increased. Thus, a resultant upward force is created normal to the flow and the force provide lifts for an aeroplane. Example of aerofoils are aircraft wings and propellers. तो इसका शेप ऐसे होता है कि यहाँ पे स्पीड ज़्यादा होगा, यहाँ पे स्पीड कम होगा. स्पीड कम है तो प्रेशर इज हायर and here the pressure is lesser and that's why there is a lift which is being provided by this pressure difference. Similarly, sprayer or atomizer, this is an instrument used to spray a liquid in the form of small droplets, that is fine spray. It consists of a vertical tube. So it consists of a vertical tube whose lower end is dipped in the liquid to be sprayed, filled in a vessel. The upper end opens in a horizontal tube. At one end of the horizontal tube, there is a rubber bulb, and at the other end, there is a fine hole. So, when the rubber bulb is squeezed, air rushes out through the horizontal tube. So, when you squeeze this rubber bulb, air rushes out, and here the pressure is less. So, pressure is less here. So, what happens? And the pressure here is more. So, liquid will come up, and because of the blowing of this air, the liquid is being sprayed outside. So the liquid in the vessel rises up and mixed with air in the form of small droplet which is sprayed out. So paint, gun, scent sprayer, everything works on this. Bunsen's burner, it consists of a long tube having a fine hole O at the bottom. The gas enters the tube through O and burns in the form of a flame at the top of the tube. To produce a flame, the air of the atmosphere is mixed with the gas. Since the nozzle O is fine, the gas enters with a large velocity and so the pressure inside the tube is lowered than the outer atmosphere. Therefore, air from outside rushes into the tube through a hole and is mixed with the burning gas. Now, filter pump again. So these are all similar kind of uh, devices. This one which this is important because we'll be doing some questions based on this as well. So blowing off of tin roof tops in windstorm. So when the wind blows with high velocity above a tin roof, same thing happens. So when the wind is blowing at high velocity, the pressure becomes less. So here the pressure is P naught and the pressure P becomes less because V is large. So because the top pressure is less and lower pressure is more, so this blows off. Due to the pressure difference, the roof is lifted up and it blows off. Now pull in for a traction force by moving fast moving trains. So in fast moving trains, what you will observe is, so when we are standing on the platform and a train passes through the platform with very high speed, when the train passes through the platform with very high speed, we are pulled towards the train. So this is because as the train comes at high speed, the pressure between us and train decreases. Thus the air behind us, which is still at atmospheric pressure, pushes us towards the train. So the reason behind flying off of a small paper, straw and other light object towards the train is also the same. So because the train is passing faster, so speed is high. The air around the train will be moving at a higher speed. So the pressure will be less there, and the pressure outside at a distance is more. So everything moves from higher pressure to lower pressure, the wind blows from higher pressure to lower pressure. So it will carry the different, paper, small bits of papers, straws, and other light objects is being pulled towards the train. And that's why when the train is passing very fast, we say that don't go near the platform, near to the train, so that you may be, at times they say that you will be, sucked by the train inside, so you may fall down. Now, a few questions based on these principles which we studied. A strong current of air flows over a roof of a house. So let's say this is the roof of a house. So here the current flows, speed V1 is equal to 120 kilometer per hour. Okay. So we can convert it into meter per second, 120 into 5 by 18. So this will be 100 by 3 meter per second. Okay. So this is the flow of the air speed outside. The house has a plain roof of area 60 meters square. I'm sorry, the house has a plain roof like this. So the area here is 60 meters square. Area is equal to 60 meters square. Calculate the magnitude of aerodynamic lift on the roof. Take the density of air as 1.32 kg per meter cube and G is equal to 10 meters per second square. So aerodynamic lift is basically provided by, so density of the air is 1.32 kg per meter cube. G is equal to 10 meter per second square. So now inside the room, the velocity of air is zero. Outside the room on the top, the speed is 100 by 3 meter per second. Now by Bernoulli's theorem, P1 plus half rho V1 square, both are at the same level. The air here and here we assume to be at the same height, just above and just below. This is equal to P2 plus half rho V2 square. So the pressure inside is equal to the atmospheric pressure. P2 is equal to atmospheric pressure. So we know P1 minus P2 is equal to half, sorry, P2 minus P1 is equal to half rho V1 square, because V2 is 0. V2 is equal to 0. This becomes 0. So this is P2 minus P1 is this. P2 minus P1 is the aerodynamic. Let's say the pressure difference create the force. The pressure here is P1, here it is P2. P2 is more than P1. So this is applying the force. So P2 minus P1 is F into A. Sorry, F by A is equal to force per unit area is pressure. P2 minus P1 is F upon A, half rho V1 square. We have to calculate the force. So F is equal to half rho V1 square into A. So we put the values, half into 1.32 into V1 square is 100 by 3 whole square into area is 60. So this is 2200 into 60, 132,000. So this is the amount of force which is being applied. we are doing some mistake. I'll just check the answer again, calculator. So this is 1.32 into 100 into 100. There will be one more 3 here, right? So this is divided by 3. 4.4 into 10 to the power 4 meter. See, 1 3 goes and cancel this, and there is one more 3 which is remaining here because we have a square here. So 4.4 into 10 to the power 4 meter. Now in this next question, a fully loaded Boeing aircraft 747 has mass 3.3 into 10 to the power 5 kg. Its total wing area, so let's say we have an aircraft and its total mass is m is equal to 3.3 into 10 to the power 5 kg. Its total wing area is 500 meters square. So area of the wing A is equal to 500 meters square. It is in left. So it is in left flight. It is in level flight with a speed of 960 kilometer per hour. So speed of this flight is 960 kilometer per hour. Estimate the pressure difference between the lower and upper surfaces of the wing. Just a second. Yeah, sorry. So speed is 960 kilometer. Now estimate the pressure difference between the lower and upper surfaces of the wing. So we know that the pressure difference will be equal to, so P1 plus half rho V1 square is P plus half rho V2 square. Estimate the fractional increase in the speed of the air on the upper surface of the wing relative to the lower surface. The density of air is given as this and G is 9.81. Okay. So rho is equal to 1.2 kg per meter cube. G is equal to 9.81 meter per second square. So because it is going in a level flight, so the pressure difference, let's say upper top में pressure P1 और यहाँ P2 है, so we will get delta P. So upward force due to pressure difference, upward force due to pressure difference, this will balance the weight is equal to weight of the aircraft. So press upward force due to pressure difference P1 minus P2 into A is equal to mg, right? पहला पार्ट में प्रेशर डिफरेंस, so P1 minus P2 is equal to mg upon A. So mg is 3.3 into 10 to the power 5 into 9.81 divided by area 500 meters square. So we'll get 3.3 into 9.81 divided by 5. 6.47 into 10 to the power 3 Newton per meter square. So this is the first part. Okay. Now second is estimate the fractional increase in the speed of air on the upper surface. So see now, second part, by Bernoulli's theorem we will get P1 minus P2 is half rho V2 square minus V1 square. So this is half rho V2 plus V1 into V2 minus V1. So rho into V2 plus V1 by 2 into V2 minus V1. Rho into average velocity into V2 minus V1. So now if you see P1 minus P2 is this. So we have to calculate V2 minus V1 by V average will be equal to P1 minus P2 by rho into V average ka whole square. So we'll put the values P1 minus P2 we have already calculated 6.47 into 10 to the power 3. Density is 1.2 and V average we already know is 960 kilometer per hour. This can be converted into meter per second. So 960 into 5 by 8. 5 by 18, sorry. So we have 266.67 meter per second. So if you solve this, we'll get 6.47 divided by 1.2, 5.39 divided by 2.67 divided by 2.67, 0.75, 10 to the power minus 4, so minus 1. So 7.5 into 10 to the power minus 2. So this is the fractional 0.075. This is the fractional increase in the speed. If we have to convert it into percentage, we'll multiply by 100, we'll get 7.5%. So we'll stop here. इसके आगे we'll do in the next class. Okay.